Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to a new video, a new background, a new setup, and finally a video after 9 months. What was the reason? Well, even I don't know. A lot of things were going on, my exams and everything, but finally I'm back and let's just move on and forgot those things and yeah. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to play the Alekhine Defense. Now, the Alekhine Defense can be a mystery weapon because most of the players are not prepared for it. It is not played by the most high-level players, and so if you're in a tournament or friendly game, you can completely surprise your opponent. And I'm damn sure no one of your opponents is prepared for this, unless it's Magnus Carlsen. And by the way, before starting, my new glasses are right there, guys. And by the way, this webcam, is a bit dark. I know, there's some lighting issues and everything. We'll figure something out, but we'll have to adjust for some time. Let's start. E4, and the Alekhine Defense starts to move knight to f6. E5, knight d5. Well, remember, in the Alekhine Defense, this knight is the main piece. This is the main hero of this whole position. We'll see how. Knight d5, d4. This looks a very idiotic opening. Black is just wandering with the knight and white is just occupying space. Well, this is the position, this is the opening. You'll see what happens next. d6 to exchange the pawn, and white plays the most popular move. The most popular move is c4, maximizing and occupying even more space. Now we go knight to b6, 6, 6. This is the exchange variation. Once again, the most popular one. Well, now normal moves happen. Knight c3, g6, just some normal development moves. Knight f3, bishop g7, bishop e3, castles, bishop e2, knight c6, just getting the pieces out, castles, and guess what? We have reached the critical position of this opening. In this position, we are going to play the move bishop to g4, and this little move sets the catchy trap right here, because the bishop g4 move intimidates white to play this move h2, and if your opponent is not careful, he'll play this move and he is trapped. In this position, we're just going to capture the knight. Remember, the main motive of this bishop in this whole opening is to just go on g4, capture the knight, and die. Yes, that's what it is. And here, white is forced to play the move g takes f3, which completely ruins the defense of the king, and this is not a good position. Black is completely better here. Well, pawn on bishop takes f3. Well, you just lose the pawn on c4. Black is a pawn up, even attacking the b2 pawn. Pressure on the bishop. This is a much better position for black, and it is a favorable position for the black camp. That's why h3 is not a good option. So the move which is recommended by the players and everyone is the move b3. After b3, another crucial point, we're going to play this essential vital move, d5. Two options for white, either to take or play c5. c5 is the most popular move. We'll see both of them. If white takes on d5, well, we are going to play this nasty looking move, knight to b4, applying even more pressure on d5, h3, captures, takes, knight takes d5, knight takes, and after the whole transaction, material is equal. No one is, up a pawn, down a pawn, but it comes out that white has an isolated pawn, and in long term, this is not really healthy for the white camp because isolated pawns are targeted, and this might be a liability for white, and black is in a better position. That's why c takes d4 is not a good option. The most popular move is to occupy once again even more space and play the move c5. Very important move here. Most of the players, most of you will be like, yeah, now d7 and everything. No. In this position, always remember, whenever your knight is on b6, you have to play the move knight to c8. This is the purpose of the Alekhine Defense. But this move looks so stupid and so idiotic. I mean, why will the knight go there? Just wait and watch the whole movie, guys. It's just the trailer. The whole movie's right there. Now, here once again, white has two options. If White plays the move h3. So then we're going to capture the knight. Bishop takes f3. e6, defending the pawn, attacked by the two pieces. a3. Okay, now one more important thing. In this opening, the main purpose, the main motive of the white camp is to maximize the space, take as much space as you can on majorly on the queen side. And so now the plan of white is to push the a and b pawn. That is the plan. So white just goes with the plan, right? a3. Well, we going to play knight e7, b4. White's close. No, here comes the dagger. Here comes the move knight to f5. And if you realize, the knight has actually moved 6 times from the opening. From g8 to f6, then d5, b6, c8, e7, f5, and finally it is serving its purpose. You'll see how, and that's why this is the main hero of the Alekhine defense. If you realize there are three defenders, three attackers and two defenders. So what? I increase the defender. Well then, I increase the attacker, and unfortunately, there's no more defender there for the white camp, and white has to lose this pawn. And black is just going to be pawn up. Your opponent might play the move d5. You're trying to attack the knight. Takes, and after the whole transaction, black emerges with the pawn up. And guess what? Not only one pawn is more than out. In this position, the c pawn and the rook is attacked. So what? Like rook c1, right? Well, then I'm going to play rook f c8. Yeah, so what? c6, and I'm fine, right? Well, this is what white thinks. There's this move, bishop to b2, attacking the rook and the pawn. And there's no more choice left. Move like rook c2 doesn't matter. White has to lose this pawn to queen. And after the whole transaction, not only one pawn, black actually emerges with a 2-pawn advantage, which is huge. You know, this a and this d, these are the pass pawns. Very strong position for black, very favorable, and black might get victorious. Start by the move x queen. It's not going to be possible. The other move, which is also very popular, is the move a2. Again, the same idea to go. Well, we're just going to follow the plan. e6, b4, 97. No, 97. No. This is the problem. We cannot go 97 because in this position, white has actually moved ahead because it did not play s3 and it can play the move b5. This is a problem for the black camp. b5 is the problem. So, a simple solution, a move like a6 defends the square on b5, and now the white cannot play the move b5. Two options for white. If white plays the move a4, it's just going to capture the pawn with the knight. He was like, I'm a pawn up. It's not that simple. Because the point of white is the rook b1, which looks as a very dangerous move. Because if you move the knight, it takes the b7 pawn, a very crucial pawn, and the rook comes on the 7th rank. But what white missed was a simple move, a5. The knight is defended, and black's position is crystal clear, and once again, black emerges with a pawn up advantage. So this is not possible at all. The other move, rook b1, to support the pawn. Well, now we play knight e7, a4. White is just there, but guess what? Once again, white is late, capturing the knight and playing the move knight f5. Once again, white is not in time. 3 defenders, 2 attackers. You increase the defender. I increase the attacker. No more defenders. Pawn is lost, and this is it. So this was one of the main variations of the Alekhine, where I have shown you all the possibilities which can happen with you. Now let me show you another very famous, very important possibility if you are playing the Alekhine defense. So guys, in this position, what I showed you in the previous variation was the move f3. But another very popular move which can happen is bishop e3. This is actually a modern trendy move and is recommended by a lot of books and a lot of good players. Well, we are just going to continue with the plan. Bishop g7, rook c1. Okay, strange move. Okay, whatever. Castle and b3, and suddenly black realizes the two most important plans which are discussed in the previous variation, bishop g4 and d5, do not even exist in this variation. So what? Is this the end of the Alekhine? Well, definitely not, because I'm going to recommend you this modern move, bishop to f5. Well, now just normal moves like bishop e2, and we are going to play this important move once again, d5. Once again, if white takes the pawn after knight takes, once again white has an isolated pawn, which is not good for the long term. This might be a liability. So the most proper move here is to play the move c5, occupying even more space. Not d7, but knight c8, the main move of the Alekhine. And in this position, the move which should be played by the players is the move bishop f3. But players are, tended to play move at f3 because you have to get a new piece in the game, right? But guess what? This is the wrong move. You're going to play knight c6. And here, once again, two options for white. The first move is the move h3. If white plays h3, we are going to play the move bishop e4, targeting the knight. And if the knight is captured, this pawn will become weak. And so if your opponent eliminates this bishop, after d takes c4, what is the problem? Well, there are three attackers on the d4 pawn. So what? Three defenders in pawn. Now this defender is tagged, it has to move, and once again, white is going to lose a pawn and will be down a pawn, and black once again emerges with a pawn advantage. So this is not possible. So instead of h3, another popular move is to go for the castle. Well, we are going to continue the plan. Bishop g4. Wait, what? I just played bishop f5. Now g4, just wasting two moves. Well, this is the move. This is the plan. Just see and just see and play. Yeah. Just don't have to worry of the tempo and everything. Just play. h3 takes. Now play this move e6, depending upon. And you might realize, wait a second, this is the old similar story. White is too close, but once again, knight to f5, and white is all done because this pawn is going to be lost. Realize how much time this knight has actually moved. It started its journey from g8, f6, d5, b6, c8, e7, finally on f5. But once again, it's the old similar story. Three attackers to defenders. You increase the defend. Increase the attacker. No more defender. Game over. Black once again wins the pawn and emerges with the pawn up advantage. Well guys, this was the Alekhine Defense. I hope you liked the video. If you're new on the channel, subscribe to the channel right now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.